Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to Super Stock Bros. Today we're going to be talking about the end of this crazy week and how you can make money off of this recovery. Stay tuned. Okay, to start off, let's go through our portfolios. So first, IPOF is what we're still holding. Nothing has changed in these portfolios, but I just want to go over them again for those that missed it. And we're looking for IPOF and the other SPACs to make a huge recovery, which I'll be talking about very soon. But we held on to it, and it's already starting to pay off, and you'll see it's going to pay off into the future here. So we still have IPOF in our swing bullet, and actually we have Bridgetown as well in here. It's kind of hidden, but I'll add it to like the merged dollars as part of the notes. But that's fine. And as part of our warrant bullet, we still have IPOF from the very beginning. We've been holding this for a couple of months now. So like I said, from the very beginning of this challenge, might take a couple of months. That's fair. I think I said actually even up to 6 months, and it's holding to that timeline. I was hoping it would be faster because of the huge boom in the bullish market, but sometimes you don't get the merge target that you want, and really we don't want them to rush because that means that they're going to do their due diligence and they're going to find the proper targets. So, don't rush them. I think this is okay. Next up, let's take a look at our portfolios, and it did recover a little bit. Actually, we were down pretty badly. This was almost down to about 10 grand, and this was closer to 2,500. And look at that, we've already started to make a bit of a recovery. This is what buying a long term and holding it pays off for you instead of jumping around and taking hits and losses. You hold on to it, you wait for the recovery that is almost always inevitable for a lot of stocks that you have high conviction in, and you'll make those gains back. So just hold on to it. That's what I did, and we're going to stick with that. Now, in terms of our plays tracker, I didn't make a play, so I'm not going to add anything here, but I did want to go over a few things that I mentioned in the Discord. And for those who are not registered or missed it, I just want to go over those notes. I still strongly advise you to join the Discord so that you get this in real time. But if you want to wait to see the update at the end of the day, that's totally fine as well. So the other day we were talking about how I had all of these plays lined up. I wanted to capture some of the gains on the big ones. I notably pointed out FU2 and Tesla and Square, as well as ROKU and Palantir. And these are actually big gainers, actually, as well as NEO and Jumia. I can't even believe NEO is down to this price. You see it now, it's at 43, so you would have already made a 20%, 25%, and 30% gain on NEO. So these were actually great updates. I did have covered calls on Palantir to hedge against the downside. These have no doubt come down a little bit, but that's okay. I expect to cash out at around like the 30 or 40% range. I probably should have cashed out at these levels, to be honest with you, but they were a hedge, so I wanted to keep them just in case the market kept going flat or lower. If the bond auction was bad, then these would have helped to prevent further losses, or at least to reduce those losses. So that's why I kept them around. I'll probably sell them off today. I think the market is overall bullish. Bonds have been going down, and actually we can take a look at the bond yield right now. It's at 1.5, so remember, people were panicking at around 1.6, now it's down to 1.5, so you're seeing things stabilize, and after the bond auction, it was at around 1.3 that all of the billions of dollars were sold. I think it was $38 billion were sold off at 1.3, and that's an acceptable level. People said, okay, that's actually going to be neutral or even bullish for the market. So now you're going to see some green today, probably, unless Wall Street pulls another lever that we don't even know about, and they say, oh, you know what, we're selling rugs at a cheaper price or something. I don't know what they're going to talk about. So regardless, that's what we're looking out for. And now what's happening today, I mentioned this in the chat. I said I'm getting the feeling that SPACs are coming back to life, and this is actually what I was talking about. I do believe SPACs are going to come back to life. I think that a bunch of the stocks in the market are really high right now. Actually, we can look at it too. Yeah, you're seeing a bunch of green across the board, and not only green, we're seeing massive green. We're seeing 6%, we're seeing 10%. This is huge, and this is actually Roblox, but you're seeing it all across the board. And what I think is going to happen next is you're going to see a drip down into SPACs, maybe the SPACs that have already found merge targets. So for example, GHVI, which is Matterport, it's already coming up huge. It's always had support from big YouTubers. You might even see ACIC, which is the Archer SPAC. It's more on the speculative side because it's future gains, but that might come back in a big way. People still have conviction for the story, so you might actually see that coming back huge. It got hit very, very badly on the last downturn. CCIV, of course, this is Lucid. It might make a comeback for all those that are stuck in it like me. And then you're going to see the more speculative SPACs that haven't found merge targets. So these are going to come back too. I think you're going to see a drip, right? You're going to see from the very high conviction stocks to the medium high conviction stocks that are on the risky side to the lower conviction stocks and or the very risky stocks. So these would be SPACs that haven't found a merge target. This would be like, like BNGO and stuff like that seem very good. They have a good story, but it hasn't played out yet. So this is where the money's going to go. You're going to look for the cheaper buy-ins, pretty much. So that's what I mentioned in the Discord chat. And basically, I did say, yeah, bond yields have come down. And now we're going to be looking at year-over-year comparisons with COVID, the COVID year data. So you're going to see you're going to say, oh, wow, year-over-year things have been incredible. But that's because you're comparing to when the economy was shut down. So then once we get into the later months, it's going to be a very, very strong, it's going to be a weak comparison because now the recovery is not as big, or maybe it will be, who knows. And then at that point, you're going to see, oh, month over month last year was incredible. How come it hasn't been incredible this year? Well, that's because the market was reopening, right? So we're going to be seeing comparisons like that in the media. Okay, and then finally, one other note. I did mention, I was talking about the Roblox on the Discord. Roblox, great company. I think it's awesome. I did have a few concerns about it. One being they did a stock split before they IPO'd or they direct listed. And honestly, it's kind of sketchy. It's kind of like what Lucid did, to be totally honest with you, which I didn't like. Another thing that they did was they have lower guidance for this year going out because, of course, I mean, it's good that they were honest with it, but it's going to be lower guidance because kids are going to be going out now once they get the vaccine or once the parents get the vaccine, and then they won't be inside as much to play Roblox. They also mentioned that there is a 2-year life cycle on users, so this would be, I guess, kids growing older and then not liking Roblox anymore or just getting sick of the game. And then finally, it was kind of a warning sign when Roblox kept pushing out their direct listing date. I don't know what they were trying to do by this. Maybe they were preparing. One of the reasons they pushed it out was because of the split. Maybe, for example, they're splitting shares that were previously useless or had no value to now they have a much value, right? Because they sold for, and they're selling now for $75 a share. So that's something to note. Kind of sketchy on the executives part, but overall, I do like the stock. I'm a developer myself, so looking at Roblox, I'm probably going to actually develop an app for it just to see what's going on and just to see how it feels and what it's like in that community. But from what I hear, it's actually incredible. Some developers are making $40K a month on some of these games. That's probably like the most popular game, but that's amazing. And Roblox has their entire community. It's good for kids and their learning. So I'm overall bullish for the company. I'd like to see where they go in terms of innovation, but that is to be seen. And then overall, I finished off with the SPAC update, which I just mentioned. Overall, the market is going to be green today. Bond yields have come down. I think it's a bullish sentiment, and I think that there's going to be drip into the SPACs. Okay, so that's it for me today, Stock Bros. Like I said, I'm going to be looking into SPAC opportunities. I'm probably going to be averaging down on IPOF or looking into, for example, AJAX, which is on my top 5 or 6 SPAC list. It's going to be a gamble because they haven't found a merge target, but I honestly think it's looking pretty good. So that's my game plan. It's on the riskier side, so it's not like I'm advising it. Do your own due diligence and invest in high conviction companies based on their leadership and their management style, and hopefully you'll do well. And Super Stock Bros, let's make those gains.